Foresight Wrestling Podcast on the one and only 411 Podcast Network.
You are listening to the 411 Foresight Wrestling Podcast. Steve, how you doing this week?
It's been a week. I tell you that. Definitely feels like a week.
It's been a week, but you know what today is?
Today is Friday.
Today is Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
Spooky. Do you have any favorite movies that you like?
Yeah, but none of them Friday the 13th related. I mean...
Really? You didn't like those?
I'm not a big horror fan, personally. Give me Top Gun and Ghostbusters 2, and I'm set for the rest of my life. I actually have a Top Gun flight suit costume upstairs right now.
What?
Yeah.
I like the Ghostbusters 2 shout out.
Oh, Ghostbusters is amazing.
I always liked Psycho, the 1960, the original. Yeah, that's a good one. But we are not talking horror movies today.
No, we are not. Horror stories.
Maybe, but I mean, even though it too, by the way, was super long, 3 hours. So if
Wasn't Bill Hader in that?
Yeah. Actually, he may have been maybe the best part of it. But anyways, we're going to be talking a whole lot of WWE, of course.
Of course.
We got a whole bunch of crap going on. So I figure we should start with Clash of Champions.
The Clash.
The Clash.
It's the Clash.
This this pay-per-view kind of came out of nowhere.
I mean, it did, but it didn't. It just seems like in the last couple of weeks they've been like scrambling. Oh, we got to put this match out.
It feels like a lot. There was 5 weeks. SummerSlam, I believe, was August 11th.
Yeah.
So it's been a while, but it just
has.
feels like other crap was going on. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, yeah, we have Clash of Champions. Let's throw a bunch of title matches on there. So,
and, let's not forget that AEW stole a little bit of thunder as well from a little bit.
I like to use the word thunder.
Thursdays.
So I figure we will start with AJ Styles versus Cedric Alexander, U.S. title. What do you think of this one?
I like it. I'm excited for the matchup. I would like to see Cedric go over and take the title and maybe have a first run with the title.
Are you picking Cedric?
No. I'm actually picking AJ. I'm saying I would like to see Cedric run, but I can see them keeping it on AJ because he's just the best, one of the best workers they got right now.
Yeah, I'm all for Cedric getting more attention and all this. The spotlight, of course, Madison Square Garden, Stone Cold, the beer, all that stuff in the main event. But this does feel a little bit like the standard challenger pins champion pins challenger on pay-per-view.
Right, yeah.
So that's the only part that kind of gets us down a little bit is it just kind of feels like, yeah, AJ needed to defend against someone. If you remember 2 weeks ago, he literally just randomly attacked Cedric before, I think it was his match against Baron Corbin. And then he just attacked him. And
away.
And
knocked him out of the King of the Ring, basically.
And it's just like, oh, okay, so I guess they just needed a challenger. So,
I mean, you know how it goes. You gotta defend the title. So Cedric seems to have some momentum. He's got Paul Heyman behind him, so he seems an optimal choice, in that spot.
Yeah, so did Ricochet, and how's that doing? So, anyways,
Alexa
Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. This, again, feels like the previous where, hey, we needed some challenges.
Yeah, it is, because there wasn't a whole... I mean, I'm not the biggest SmackDown watcher. I did actually watch this last week, but I kind of like the go-home shows. But, yeah, it just didn't seem like there was much behind it. There wasn't much of a build. It's just like, here you go.
Yeah, there was a little bit of an uproar over Mandy Rose's promo. I don't know if you remember it, where she said she's hot and Nikki Cross is ugly. And
yeah,
people
I was watching that. That
we're
was
back to Mean Girls type story.
Yeah, I actually fast-forwarded through a majority of that once she started doing the whole...
I don't blame you. The promo,
thing.
Yeah, the promo, wasn't that good. But
this day and age, that's not necessary,
It isn't. It's 2019. They just main evented Mania. You could do the
Check
whole
your local listings.
Yeah, you could just say all the Revolution and all that stuff, but I didn't have a problem with it because that's Mandy Rose. She comes out with the entrance and the slow motion and she's the hot blonde. So for her, it made sense.
I guess, yeah, but I think there's better ways that she could have played it up. I think there's better ways of phrasing it, be it a choice of words or actions or something else. Just coming right out and saying, you're ugly, you're da-da-da, look at this, you look like a rat, blah,
she
blah,
called
blah.
her a rat from the sewer or something.
Yeah, I mean, she's not wrong, but...
Whoa!
Whoa! When you look at them side by side like that and you mention that, she kind of... I mean, hey, some people have rat-like qualities. I myself probably look like some type of grizzly bear.
I mean, I've been called a rat, but not for my looks. But anyways, the Nikki Cross thing...
Snitches get stitches.
Right. I will say that Nikki Cross ended up just beating her. So it was the heel making fun of the face, and the face just came and beat her.
Yeah,
so
just
isn't
took her right
that
out. Wait, are they face now?
I mean, I guess we got to cheer someone in this match.
The Big Show's like, I can't even keep track.
Even the Big Show is long.
Yep.
By the way, he's filming a Netflix show.
I saw that. Now, is that legit show or is this
That's
like
a show,
some staged reality?
No, that's
Chrisley crap.
No, it's not reality. They're actors on it's a sitcom. I think it's like
so it's full on sitcom. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a comedy. I think it's like a daughter moves in with the two daughters already there and the wife. So I'm wondering, is this daughter from a previous thing or I don't know how it explained in the synopsis. It made no sense to me. A daughter moves in with the other two daughters and the mom. So,
is Big Show good at acting?
I don't know. He's been in a few movies.
I can't remember. Was he in Psych or not? I know John Cena was a bunch.
He's done some stuff.
Did you ever watch Psych?
I did not.
Oh my God, that show was amazing. They throw so much wrestling trivia in there.
Wasn't there a Psych movie?
Yes, I have that on the DVR right now.
Oh.
It was funny though because there was one point where they're watching the Rumble, right? And like they didn't say what year it was, and we watched it way after the show ended. So on Netflix, we binge watched it. So we're sitting there watching this particular episode where it's a Royal Rumble episode. They get totally into it, and my wife asks me, she goes, "So what Rumble are they watching on TV?" And I took one look at it, 5 seconds maybe, and I'm like, 2008, John Cena won it. She was like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm
Madison
like, "Well,
Square Garden."
I was like, "Well, look at that. That was the set that they used, and I'll bet you right now, yep, there he is, John Cena."
Nice. I do that sometimes too, and a lot of times I'll like point out the date, the city, the arena name, and like the event, and it's just like you can't remember yesterday, and yet you just named the 20-year-old event.
Exactly. Right.
Like, well, that's just how it goes.
I can remember intimate details from my childhood, but I forget a 4-digit number walking from one place at work to the other.
Yeah, or you'll sit there at the time machine and be like,
well, actually, those numbers I got memorized pretty well. It got me out of a couple of tickets having my license number memorized.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Right. We will move on from that then. So you're taking Bliss and Cross, I assume?
It just seems like that'd be the way to go. I mean, why take it off them? It's just going to lend more, it's not a real title story, I mean,
yeah, I agree.
We need
with
to
that.
have a long-standing champion for a little while here.
Yeah, and if the single titles seem to be wrapped up right now, then Bliss and Nikki Cross can obviously stay in the tag division.
Absolutely, and they have the potential to make it an interesting division if given the chance.
Oh, yeah, they have plenty of opportunities. It's just, actually doing it.
Right.
So up next, I don't know if it's the only non-title match. I could be wrong about it, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan, no DQ.
That was just added to the fact that there was no disqualification.
Yeah, I think that's because they've been, the brawling. That's just like, we can't contain them.
Yeah, they're pretty angry, aren't they?
They are pretty angry. Do you have any little predictions on this, or is the whole mystery story attacker thing over with?
It's not. It should be over with because it went pretty much nowhere. I mean, I'm not invested in this match. I mean, it's nice to have some closure to a story that I haven't been following because it's so disjointed. What was with the lookalike dude? I mean, where did he go?
That was never mentioned again.
And what's Brian's role in this whole thing?
And then the next week they did show Rowan anyways. And yeah, all right. So here's where I'm going to go with this. First of all, Rowan came out on SmackDown for his big promo explaining it all. Yeah. Zero crowd
new
reaction.
Music.
Yeah, new music. Didn't care for that.
Nope. I really like the old music a lot better.
Yeah, the new one I didn't like. No crowd reaction. Madison Square Garden already pretty much made up their mind on that.
Yeah.
I assume
the Garden too. Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's like if you're gonna do something and then get nothing. So
right. Like it's okay to fail, but when you fail in the Garden, that's like double.
I think that's like almost the decider. Vince always says like if you can't do it in the Garden,
that's right.
It's like it ain't gonna work.
Did you ever hear the Roddy Piper story?
Uh-oh.
Apparently Piper was brought into WWF at the time, and I think he was making his debut in the Garden, and I think it was Classy Freddie Blassie put rolled up pieces of paper in his bagpipes. So his whole gimmick in AWA and wherever else he was is he comes out and he's playing the bagpipes because a lot of people hate bagpipe music, and Roddy Piper was just doing everything he could to get under the skin of the whole crowd. That was what he was great at. So this was told from Roddy Piper. Apparently Classy Freddie Blassie stuffed his bagpipe pipes with paper and didn't tell anybody about it and must have hid it. So Roddy Piper makes his way out to the entranceway, gets ready to give those pipes a big old blow. Nothing. And that killed Roddy. He's like, dude, that's a pretty cruel thing to do to a guy.
Well, that's not nice.
No, not nice at all.
Kill his career?
That was basically it, because Vince was so hyped up on, if you can't make, and this was for Vince Sr., who in the Garden, that's his playground.
That's the home.
You don't mess around there. So that was a pretty rough story from Roddy Piper there.
That would be pretty bad, but unfortunately that was Rowan on Tuesday night. So I'm going to assume Reigns, wins. I don't know. If Drew McIntyre can't beat Reigns, then why am I going to think Eric Rowan will?
Yeah.
But of course it's no DQ, so you can never rule anything out. I mean, Shane did beat Reigns, remember? So anyways.
And then we got, Daniel Bryan, the X Factor, that can come in and...
Yeah, so...
we were in on it all along.
If there is a victory for Rowan, then I guess it's going to have to be Daniel Bryan coming out to pretty much reveal, he was the mastermind.
And then we get some kind of tag match out of it.
Screw the tag. We go inside the cell.
With all three of them?
No, Rowan can go outside the cell.
You think? Okay. You think Rowan's going to be taken out of this story now?
Yeah, I don't care. I don't think he's...
he's
the Rikishi in the Triple H Stone Cold story.
Right. But, I can see him as being Bryan's enforcer like he has been. And so now moving forward, if Bryan, does cause the disqualification and stuff like that, then we could set up some hot tag like, okay, so Seth is going against who for the Universal? Braun. So, we got this draft coming up that they're talking about. We could see,
So, who would Roman Reigns even tag with? Maybe Bryan or The Fiend or, I don't know, Luke Harper. I don't know who they all are.
Ooh, I didn't even think about Luke Harper.
I don't think he's going.
I know, but think about that, though. Well, you got Rowan. I got Luke. What do you got?
Yeah.
And then we could just tear the place apart.
I just want Reigns and Bryan to go at it. Enough with this.
Hashtag bring back Luke Harper.
I think they've been doing that for months.
Need to.
It ain't happened. So you're picking Reigns?
Gotta. That's the only thing that makes sense. Unless, there's some hinky thing going on.
Some hinky thing. So up next, we're going to talk about what I think should actually close the show as my main event. It is the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch
and Sasha.
Sasha Banks.
Going old school.
Yeah.
We're talking old NXT before I was dyeing my hair type stuff. Sasha Banks' natural hair color might have actually been present.
You mean it's not blue? No? Okay. So who are you picking in this?
Okay, so...
I have a theory. Do you want me to talk about my theory?
Our theory might line up in this case.
Really? I don't think so.
No, you always have to be the devil's advocate. So why don't you seem beaming to go at this, so why don't you go for it?
All right. Are we assuming it's going to be a non-finish? Is that what we're getting at here?
No.
Okay, well, here's my theory. It kind of goes into the other match, obviously, is Bayley and Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship, which, again, is in Charlotte,
right,
North Carolina. So, my theory banks on...
That's horrible.
Another superstar shakeup happening.
Right.
Becky and Seth would have to be on the same show, right?
Yep.
Okay.
In theory.
So obviously that would be Raw, and that would in turn mean...
Oh, really?
Well, yeah. So that would in turn mean Becky keeps the Raw title on Raw, and then Sasha can join her new buddy Bayley on SmackDown and run that side. No?
Have you been paying attention to any social media in the last couple of days?
I don't follow any single wrestler.
So, not wrestler, just in wrestling news in general.
No, I haven't.
So
What's
there
up?
have been some leaked from football games. They've been advertising Fox on SmackDown, or SmackDown on Fox.
Oh, yeah, I've seen some.
Forefront of the advertisement is Becky Lynch.
Oh, gosh.
So, my theory...
Yeah, and the commercial has Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker. It's...
Well, there's going to be a reunion show that they're talking, for the 20th anniversary.
That's true.
Obviously, Rock has to be there for that. It's his show.
I would hope so.
But, so I foresee potentially Becky losing the title.
Whoa.
Perhaps because of Bayley, who then she gets drafted over to SmackDown and makes a run and basically resumes her place at the top of the heap just on SmackDown. Because Fox paying $1 billion, they're going to get whatever they want.
Well, USA is also paying $1 billion.
Yeah, but she's been there. And how much are they clamoring for Becky on USA as opposed to Fox, where
You don't want to see Becky and Lacey Evans again?
No.
Or
really don't.
Natty?
I could see that. They put on good matches.
No. Please no. So you're saying Sasha wins the title, stays on Raw?
I'm almost feeling that Sasha, is going to win this one. I think there's going to be some, again, hinky stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a non-finish, and then I would almost just throw all 4 women in the cell next month. Just make it,
It'd be great. I mean, that would be killer just to see the 4 horsemen explode like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rick.
Sorry, Rick, the man. So, anyways, Sasha Banks, if she's gonna win the title, this is it. Like we talked about a few weeks ago, like they're not waiting around they're not messing around. She's back. She's in the top feud.
She's full time. She's doling out promos. She's got a character all about her. She's going for it.
Yeah, and they're not slow building this. They're going right for Becky Lynch for Sasha.
Right for it.
The biggest face, biggest heel.
Right.
They're going right for the title match, and I wouldn't be surprised one bit if they go right for the title match and the title switch, because she is back.
Yeah. I have to say, it's refreshing to see Sasha as a heel again. She does that part very well.
Oh, yeah, and I did actually see some tweets of, her playing it up, talking about Vince paying her and all this stuff.
Oh, yeah. There's a Chronicle where on the network that's going to be airing where I think she actually delves into what happened at WrestleMania. I think they're going to be playing. I think they're going to be playing into that. This is her character now.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Do you know when that is? I don't even know.
I think it's at the end of Clash of Champions.
Oh, gosh. I always try to match up the afterward special and the pay-per-view, and there really isn't a correlation. Like, you always think, they're airing this on somebody. Well, that means they're going to win. There's never any correlation.
Never is, no.
So if that's the thing. But, yeah, the whole thing with, who ends up on what show, and then does Charlotte stay on SmackDown too? So then what, Becky, Sasha goes to Raw and she's alone again. And then, like, if you remember.
She could take on Alicia Fox and Natty and Lacey Evans. Maybe Dana Brooke could get a.
Well, they're going to need a little bit more than that.
Sarah Logan.
Sasha's not a miracle. Yeah, Sarah Logan, give her a chance. I mean.
There's also Liv Morgan, who's been rumored to be changing up her look and character.
I thought she was SmackDown.
But we got a draft coming up, buddy.
That's true. I don't know. We'll see if there's a draft, but yeah, this is the one where I could see it. But the only reason I would think Becky retains through a DQ or something is because of the Seth Rollins factor.
Okay.
But
if Rollins loses the title, he could get drafted as well.
That's not happening.
Oh yeah?
I don't think so. So
you know what they say in this business?
I don't want to know.
Never say never.
Never say never. So, Banks winning would make all the sense in the world to me. But again, the Becky hang-up. So I would just say screw it, just DQ and then throw them inside the cell. And then they can decide what to do after the whole Fox thing kind of shakes out.
Yeah, but we're getting exclusive come October.
Yeah, we'll see.
So whoever's on SmackDown is going to be on SmackDown. Whoever's on Raw is. So throwing the 4 of them in the cell isn't likely to
they could always just
happen after.
They could always just say, it starts the next day, and then like that finishes up the current storylines, and then it starts fresh then. But
we're going to start off our relationship with Fox by pulling every kind of swerve we can. All right,
pretty much.
Good.
But here's the other factor. You know what the November pay-per-view is? Raw versus SmackDown.
Yeah.
And they're going to invade each other's shows, so it's...
Well, that's a good point.
Well, we're right back to it.
Hey, wild card rule.
And then the Royal Rumble, and then everyone's flying all over anyways, so that's why I don't know about any of this. But, I mean, Rollins and Becky will probably travel together, so I would just assume whether she's the champion or not, she'll probably stay on the same show. But anyways...
I would imagine that they have, like, future events already planned, like, scheduled, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, the idea of running, a show and 2 shows, like Monday you're in Norfolk, Tuesday you're in Norfolk, and then both shows travel together, basically. Like, what's so wrong with that?
Yeah, we could see how that all goes, I guess.
No?
I mean, I know that...
Not feeling it?
No, but I would say that they probably want to be on the same show, right?
Right. Well, I mean, even if
it's, same city...
You can still travel together. Why do you got to be on the same show? Maybe if you're on different shows, then everybody can get a spotlight.
Then we can't have them tagging up anymore.
I might actually watch both shows.
Whoa. We won't want that now. But anyway, so we have Raw's The Miz versus SmackDown Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental.
Yeah.
Wild card rule.
Wild. Yeah, totally wild.
At least I think Miz is Raw, right? Pretty sure he went there, and I said it was a huge mistake.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right about that.
All
I
right.
think he's actually been on SmackDown more than he's been on Raw since he got drafted to Raw.
Yeah, and Reigns was the big SmackDown move, and
has been on Raw more.
missed 3 weeks in a row.
Right.
All right, so Nakamura retains, yes?
He's gotta. I mean,
really?
Again, there's no point.
Okay, I will.
Unless we're moving the title to SmackDown, in which case then the U.S. title has to move over.
Well, Nakamura is on SmackDown.
I mean, you know what I mean. Moving the Intercontinental to Raw, then AJ's got to send the U.S. title to SmackDown. So, I mean.
Yeah, that's when I wouldn't be surprised if AJ does just move right back to SmackDown.
I mean, he was good there.
I mean, Mysterio definitely should.
But we got the OC there. I mean, he can't leave them yet.
Right, yeah, the OC. So, my only holdup on the Miz is if they are going to Fox, you're going to want the media, the whole
A-lister.
Yeah, the A-lister, the media guy, the Miz, and it
Mrs.
always looks good with the title belt and the whole.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
I'm the Intercontinental Champion, and I think they mentioned he's like a 9-time or 10-time or something.
It would be the 9th if he wins.
And then also, I believe he's like a month away from setting the longest streak of time holding the title.
Oh, really?
So they can always get to this later in his career. I mean, he's however old, so they don't have to do this now, but it's just something to kind of look out for, like John Cena with his title wins.
Yeah.
They can always get to it whenever if they wanted to. So that would be my only thing, but otherwise I'd say Nakamura.
Time's running out for John breaking the record. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, he's got a new movie now, so
he's got stuff to do.
I think Nakamura wins because of Sami Zayn, but
yeah.
I mentioned this in my 411mania.com column. Cheap plug. I mentioned this, but Undertaker chokeslammed Sami Zayn in the opening.
Him right out.
Not even 2 minutes later from commercial break was Nakamura sitting at ringside on commentary. Not a care in the world for Sami Zayn.
Couldn't care less, yeah. Not even speaking English.
Not a care in the world for his buddy just getting demolished.
Bye-bye.
So is that thing already done, or does Nakamura just not know what's going on?
Or does he just not care?
He doesn't care.
Hey, that's your thing, man.
I mean, I would have liked Nakamura to come and stare down Undertaker.
Now that would be cool. Can you imagine Nakamura and Undertaker?
I mean...
If Undertaker was in his prime, taking on Nakamura in his prime.
That'd be something.
Oh, wow.
Or Nakamura in his prime, or Undertaker in his prime, or both of them.
I just said that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just rambling. So I'm going to pick Nakamura. If Sami Zayn comes out, great. If Miz wins, I wouldn't be shocked one bit, and then that moves him back to SmackDown, and then we can have more matches against Shane McMahon.
Ooh.
Miz and Shane, he finally gets his revenge 9 months later.
Garbage.
No? You don't like that idea?
I don't like Shane. Shane,
All right, so New Day. Speaking of don't like.
It's a New Day.
SmackDown Tag Champs against the Revival. Is this another wild card rule? I'm pretty sure Revival are Raw.
Apparently, yeah.
I would... I'm going to be rooting for Revival so we can actually get something going on with this tag division, but I'm sure the pancake power will prevail.
Well, we haven't seen Xavier and Big E for a while. Haven't they been, Xavier's injured.
No wonder the shows have been so good.
Man, you got to crap on the New Day every chance you get.
What? I'd like the tag division to do something, not throw pancakes around.
Pancakes are great.
Pancakes are great.
Fantastic pancakes.
Yes, Holly made pancakes the other night, and
take a shot.
Oh, man, they were good.
What kind were they?
I have no idea. I let her do her thing and sat there and waited.
Was there fruit in it?
No,
Nuts?
but we actually, you know what? We may have had strawberries on the side.
Strawberries on the side. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't really like mixing. I put the syrup on, but I don't like all the other crap and the powder.
Dude, I make an amazing cranberry pecan pancake.
I don't like cranberries. So.
Then you're a sad human being.
How do you live?
I made awesome blueberry pancakes not too long ago.
I don't like blueberries.
I made apple pancakes last week.
I don't like. I'm kidding. All right.
He works at a.
I'm kidding.
Works in a deli and doesn't like food.
I'm kidding. I like apples. I just got apples. So.
How about them apples?
So how about them New Day? Are they retaining?
I think you're right. It kind of just doesn't feel like there's really a point to this match. There's been a little bit of a story where the whole Randy Orton thing and Kofi and whatnot. I guess they could, use that to play it up, but.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I actually do like how this feud is kind of a double-decker where the tag teams are feuding and then also the top guys are in the main event.
Yeah.
So I do like that part. So up next we have the Cruiserweight Championship.
Who?
It's a triple threat match.
Who?
The champion Drew Gulak.
Hey, nice job. I'm proud of you.
I almost got it right.
You did it. No, you got it right. You just hesitated a little bit.
He's facing Lindsay Dorado.
Okay.
And a guy who I'm going to butcher his name, but Humberto Carrillo.
I'd have to see how his last
Carrillo.
Carrillo.
Sure. Anyways.
Okay, so the H is silent.
Carrillo.
All vowels are there.
Carlito.
No. All vowels are their long sounds, so a U is oo.
Humberto Brenes. All you can eat.
Humberto.
No. Chomp, chomp. All right. So I have no idea what I'm talking about anymore. Drew's going to retain, right?
I don't know. I could see Lindsay getting it.
Really?
Cool. Why not?
That would be cool if, Grand Metalik was on his own on Raw against Mysterio.
And was awesome.
So maybe
I actually put the phone down for that match. I was excited for a little lucha.
Yeah, maybe all these guys now are splitting up with the Lucha House Party crap, but I like how
I
like how they did
the house party thing. I didn't get it.
I guess.
It didn't I mean, maybe it'd be fun in person, but like carrying a piñata around, come on.
Yeah, I mean,
come on.
It's like carrying
you guys are all like crazy, awesome, talented luchadors. Let's play up the luchador faction.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they need some pancakes to throw around. But anyways, I'm going to go with Drew retaining. I would like that, actually, Lindsay. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice story. And like Grand Metalik getting some TV time, obviously
right?
Mysterio. I was kind of surprised. Like that match was out of nowhere. But
yeah, out of nowhere.
Like, why? Is this a Paul Heyman thing? Like, let the Luchas go at it?
Well, I don't know what Grand Metalik did prior to WWE. I know he had a different name.
He was finals in the Cruiserweight.
Yeah,
class.
I remember that. But I mean, before. He was basically WWE gave him the name Grand Metalik. There was another name for him, and he's like incredibly popular. I want to say it was AAA or was it Lucha Underground? I don't remember which. But I think didn't Ray do a bunch of AAA?
I think Ray's done everything.
Yeah, so I wouldn't doubt if they have like a past. You know, they've touched before in the ring.
We're gonna look this up, and it's gonna be like not even close.
Right? I don't know, but I wouldn't. They've seemed very familiar with each other. Is what I'm saying. Is like it looks like they've done that before. That's why I was super interested in that match because I love watching Lucha Libre.
Yeah, I saw a joke on Twitter of after the match they were gonna shake hands, and then Grand Metalik was gonna attack Ray.
Oh,
and then unmask, and it would be Dominic.
Oh, wow.
All right. Clearly, we would have caught on if it was Dominic.
Yeah,
because
I mean...
I don't think he can do any of that
well,
stuff.
and Grand Metalik had some hair coming out the back of his mask there.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to move on from our great Cruiserweight Championship discussion. Our in-depth look at the Cruiserweights.
I think this is the most time that we've ever dedicated to the Cruiserweights.
Well, the problem is Triple H had a few quotes a few days ago about 205 kind of either absolving,
away.
Yeah, kind of joining NXT or kind of figuring out what the heck they're going to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, we got to keep the Cruiserweight title, I hope.
I mean, they used to be exclusive to Raw, remember that?
Yeah, the Cruiserweights. And then they were, they changed the ropes to purple. Commercial breaks were extra long because they went around changing
as
the
they
ropes.
quick scrambled, and then after the match took it right
took
back.
them right back down. Didn't we see them change it out? Like
we
thought they would put the I think you and I were. It was a pay-per-view and I went to.
Oh, with Jack Gallagher and
yeah, they had a cruiserweight match and then a couple of regular matches and then a cruiserweight match. So they had to do that like twice, and you just see these guys scrambling. It was insane.
I think they just wasted their purple tape budget.
You think so? Yeah, they ran out of. Maybe they stopped making that.
Someone yelled, "We're on the last roll."
Yep.
205.
Okay, we're done. Pack it in, boys. 205 Live. What an experience.
Some guy like raises his hand. Can't we just order more? No, we're done.
Shut up, you. Dude, we're getting out of work. Get out of here.
All right, so we have Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
Against Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. Obviously, they had their SummerSlam thing. I did not like the DQ finish, but of course, it's leading now to this. We'll assume there's a finish.
I'm going to say so. I'm pulling for Kofi on this one. Is there any stipulations that we know of on this one?
I don't see one, which makes me think maybe the cell is where it's actually going to end.
The cell is where it's at.
Well,
all right. If that's the case and Kofi does win this one, then I don't think I'm going to pick Kofi in the cell. That would be sad.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do it 3 times with the same result.
Right.
Here is my case for Orton winning.
Oh, boy.
But
Here's Why You're Wrong by Justin Watry. You need to write a book titled Here's Why You're Wrong.
Here's Why I'm Wrong.
No. why you're wrong.
Well, here's why I'll be wrong. I'm going to go with Kofi.
Yay.
But like The Miz, there is a case to be made.
Okay.
So the case to be made would be, why waste the time with SummerSlam to now get this match? If you're going to do Kofi retains, then he would have retained. It's kind of like Ricochet and the King of the Ring. If he was going to advance, he would have just beat Joe, not done what they did. They did the whole thing, and then it told me he wasn't winning. So that tells me that. Also, Randy Orton, he had been getting the better of Kofi, if you believe in the build-ups.
Right.
Finally, this past Tuesday, obviously the MSG moment they were trying to relive from November or October 2009.
Oh, yeah.
10 years ago.
Right.
So Kofi got one up on Orton. If you believe in the someone stands tall and
the
then
next
they lose,
guy loses. Right.
I actually did a column on that looking, and again, there is no correlation. It just seems like it, but there isn't. The stats show it, so that wouldn't matter. But if you believe in that, Kofi did stand tall.
Right.
And the other choice, of course, comes down to Fox.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to go with a champion and all this stuff and the company, who do they want front and center?
14-time world champion.
Is it their, homegrown Randy Orton, blah, blah, blah. So
would that be his 14th?
I don't know what he's up to.
It's either 13 or 14.
I was going to say 13 or 14. I could be wrong on that.
I'm almost certain it would be 14 if he would.
Yeah, it's certainly up there. And I like how he actually retaliated in his promo and was like, oh, Kofi, you had a moment 10 years ago. And then Orton's like, great.
Here's what I've done.
Yeah, main event in Mania, won 2 Rumbles and X-Time champion.
Yeah.
But, great moment in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, but, good for you.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
So this may play into what the Revival do. I'm assuming they still have the connection with Orton. So...
Right.
Like you said, I'm going to assume Kofi retains, but again, then it's like, okay, now what? Who's he go after next? I could mention...
6-man Hell in a Cell.
I could mention a certain beast that will be at the SmackDown in 2 weeks, but I won't. I won't say his name. But 6-man, that would be cool in the cell, and that would definitely continue it.
Can't Vince just pay him off and get him out of there?
Who, Kofi?
No.
All right, so I'm going to say Kofi, but... If it happens, it happens. I wouldn't be shocked one bit, and there would be logic behind it. So,
you think Brock's taking Kofi out, huh?
I'm not saying anything. So, moving on, we're going to talk about the tag titles. Remember the tag titles on Raw?
It's the same reason why I don't like Autumn, because of what comes after it. Like, Autumn is a gorgeous season. It gets nice and cool.
Yeah, I love
and all
fall.
that, but it sucks. Because as soon as autumn is done, we get the hell that is winter in Wisconsin. And
wow, we're using HE double hockey.
Oh yeah, because that's what winter is here. So I'm gonna hate this now because I just know that Brock is waiting to take Kofi's title.
No, but I'm just saying, it's like football. It's like, oh man, football, and then in a month you're like, oh wait, it's gonna be like 5 degrees outside.
Yeah, right. Ice bowl. Sorry, I'm sorry for derailing the podcast again.
That's what I'm here for. So Rollins and Braun, they are tag champs, which definitely surprised me when they won it. I thought for sure, they would just turn on each other on Raw, and then
right.
But nope, they won the tag titles.
Yes,
and
they did.
Rollins has a thing for double champ, but they are facing none other than is it Robert Roode now, or Bobby Roode?
He's Robert.
Robert Roode and
dignified.
Dolph Ziggler. He's hanging around.
Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Roode and Robert Ziggler. So. New champs, or do the somehow...
Oh, boy. I mean, I can't see Braun and Seth holding it for an extended period of time.
No.
So you almost have to think that there's going to be some type of division to build up the singles match that will immediately follow, do you think?
See, I don't know. The way Ziggler and Roode were talking is that the Universal title match would be first, and then the tag match would be later.
That would lead to some interesting chemistry.
That would make no sense to me, but
again, you just kicked the crap out of me, one to the other.
Now let's team up.
Now let's be friends.
And it wouldn't be too bad if Becky and Sasha main events, which I would have at main event.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So it wouldn't really matter, I guess, too much on the order there. But here's my thought. The only way Rollins and Braun, first of all, if they're quote-unquote the main event for the top title, neither one of them should be losing then.
Right.
That makes no sense.
Exactly.
The only way it would make sense is if Braun literally just, slams Seth, crushes him, destroys him, all these things, and then gives an interview on his way back. I don't care about these tag titles. All I wanted in the first place was a Universal, and then he'll say, see you later, champ.
Yeah.
As Rollins is there, comes out to tape ribs later and the whole shindig and, gets the Weasel win. But that'd get the tag titles off him and it would quote unquote protect Rollins because, Rude and Ziggler aren't going to win clean.
No. They got to be the heel tag.
So I don't know how this ends up, but like you said, regardless of if they retain or not, they're not going to be champs for long.
Right. I think that Robert Roode has the liking of Paul Heyman as well, so I could see him getting, him and Dolph getting a tag run. That could be interesting. I mean, it would lend some.
Yeah, I could see that, and
interesting chemistry of the tag division.
Yeah, and again, it's the whole Chad Gable thing. Well, why was he in the tournament in the first place? Well, now we're seeing it. And why would Robert and Ziggler, out of the blue, have a partnership? Well,
does anybody know how Nicholas is doing? Did he do well in school? Is he on call in case Braun needs him?
School just started for him, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe you should text your buddy John.
I should. I wish I had his number. I had his fingerprints on my phone at one point, but that was it.
By the way, there was a funny interview where Corbin, after Raw, was celebrating, and then John Cone walked by, and he's like, "Yeah, keep walking. You're not screwing me this time." And John Cone just shook his head and kept walking.
I like that guy. He's awesome.
So we're
stacked too.
Yeah, definitely. So Universal title match then. It's Rollins and Braun.
Yeah, it is.
Are we going Rollins?
I mean, it makes sense. Like I can see them keeping it on him. I would like to see Braun win at some point. I'd like to see him with a singles title.
At some point.
I don't know if tonight is the night, but...
No, I don't think it is. I think Rollins is going to win, and not that it matters, but there have already been promos of Rollins versus The Fiend inside the South.
I've seen that, and there's also been live events advertised where... like dark matches and stuff like that.
Yeah, and those don't always matter, but, The Fiend did talk about it on the Firefly Funhouse, or Bray Wyatt did. And I don't think they do a triple threat. I know they could play up the whole Braun history with Bray and all that, but I don't really care to see that. I'm all for Rollins versus Fiend one-on-one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad that we're friends. And this is a friendship that will never, ever end.
Never, ever end. Never. So we have the last match, which I don't think will main event. I could actually see this opening the show, but Bayley versus Charlotte.
Yeah.
Obviously, the key here is Bayley has a new attitude, which is awesome, and the show is in Charlotte. So
I'm thinking she's going to get one up on Charlotte.
Bayley's going to win?
I think so. I think in some type of hinky fashion, maybe Sasha comes into play again, playing into the whole story of Sasha, Becky, Charlotte, Bayley. Yeah. I definitely think Bayley's taking it home now.
I'm picking Bayley, and it has nothing to do with her hometown, but I actually thought coming out of SummerSlam, Charlotte was going to beat Trish.
Right.
Bayley would beat Ember Moon, and then Charlotte would beat Bayley. But I'm flipping on it because of Bayley's new attitude.
I got a new attitude.
And again, if you believe in it, Charlotte did pin Bayley on Raw.
That's true.
She already beat her, so now
it's going to be a thing.
So I think I'm going to go with Bayley. Not too confident, but like I said, I think these two women matches are going to be combined. So in my head, I'm thinking, Bayley and Sasha as champs, and they could literally stand over the division and say, screw the tag titles, we're the champs.
I could see it. Absolutely.
So then again,
that's good storytelling right there.
So it's again, where does Charlotte go? Does she stay on SmackDown with Andrade and her situation? Does Becky stick on Raw then with Rollins? Because I don't think Rollins is going anywhere. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'm not, too jacked about this pay-per-view. Honestly, again, it feels like a lot of title matches are just kind of thrown out there, and the champs will retain. But the Kofi situation, I could see that. The tag title situation with Braun and Rollins teaming. And then I think the 4 horsewomen, I think it's super cool that they're basically like the main events of the show.
Yeah, I think that's going to lead the night. That's going to be the main talk coming out of it is going to be what the women are doing.
Yeah, I could see, it opening and then Becky and Sasha closing it and then kind of bring it all full circle. And I mean, with the Cell coming up, I wouldn't be surprised one bit if there is a giant, fatal 4-way or just all 4 of them going at each other, regardless of how the brands are split up.
Yeah, right.
All right. So any closing thoughts before we move on from the pay-per-view?
No.
Okay.
Let's just go.
My closing thoughts are it feels like a B-level pay-per-view.
Yeah, absolutely it does.
And when Reigns versus Rowan is on the card, it definitely feels like a B-level pay-per-view. And up next is a Cell then, so we will discuss that when the time comes. But we are going to move on here real quickly. We had the King of the Ring Semifinals.
How about that?
In Madison Square Garden. We'll talk SmackDown first. So Elias apparently, broke his ankle or something?
Something with his ankle, yeah.
Something with his ankle. I don't think we were picking him to win regardless. So
no, we were I think we were having Gable go.
I don't think, I don't think it really altered plans, honestly, too much outside of him sitting on his guitar and, playing and, having a match for 5 minutes. So I don't think it really mattered, but.
Talented guitar player, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So I think Chad Gable.
What a match. I mean, he pulled it out, right?
He defeated Shane, not once, but twice. Kevin Owens.
Made the guy tap out.
Yeah, who then Shane ended up firing Kevin Owens. But again, they've fought in the cell before. We will talk about that at a different time, not today.
I got to look it up, but Owens tweeted something.
Oh, okay. So I think he was talking about his cats or something. I don't know. But anyways, so Chad Gable, I saw a few, as usual, some complaints about Shane McMahon. Oh, of course it was Shane. Shane's back and on TV and all this stuff. And, they couldn't put someone else in there. They couldn't have a battle royal. It had to be Shane.
Yeah.
Well, in case anyone actually watched the match, I mean, Gable beat him in like 10 seconds with a suplex.
Yep.
Which was awesome.
I mean, it was a little bit of a fast count, but.
A little bit.
Owens tweeted after that evening, 14-24-20. So the 14th letter of the alphabet is N. The 24th letter of the alphabet is X.
Uh-oh.
The 20th letter of the alphabet is T.
Are we talking Owens or Gable here?
Owens.
Okay, so Gable gets overshadowed again. So anyways.
I'm just saying that's what he tweeted that night.
No, I don't think it'll happen. Obviously,
and yes, they got 2 more cats.
I think 2 more.
Yes.
I think he'll come back and battle Shane, but would we really be opposed to him going to NXT? Especially on the debut,
Owens?
The live? I think that'd be awesome.
I think it'd be great to see Owens on it. I mean, he killed it there.
I think a lot of people, Cesaro, I think Kathy Kelly even said she's requested to go back to NXT,
wow.
and they said no. But I wouldn't be surprised one bit if Owens, assuming he keeps his, main roster payday, but I wouldn't be surprised if, hey, put me in Owens and he's best buds with Adam Cole.
And they, they live right there in Florida, so it's not like anybody's got to go anywhere.
Right, so it wouldn't shock me one bit if he pops up on, I don't know, October 2nd maybe on the live 2-hour, but we'll talk about NXT in a little bit. But
right.
Anyways.
Shane tapped out.
So I was saying, yeah, not only did he beat him, fast count or not, but guess how the main event of SmackDown ended? Shane McMahon tapping out.
Yeah.
That was clean. There was no ifs, ands, or buts on that.
And exclaiming, Kevin Owens saying, I tried, man.
Well, what'd you want me to do? So Shane doing that for Gable when Shane was beating Roman Reigns and Miz earlier in the year.
Right.
That tells me more for Gable than anything, so I don't get any complaints. Would it really mattered if he beat some other random heel? I don't think it would have mattered too much, but him beating Shane like that, even with the Owens involvement.
It was kind of nice to see Shane McMahon beat Red tapping out.
He's always beat Red.
Exactly, but this time he was tapping out.
This time he was tapping out. So I thought that was actually cool. So on the Raw side, it was a triple threat. So both of these semifinals was kind of a little wonky, not how it was supposed to go. But anyways.
But you totally called it.
So Ricochet, Samoa Joe, Baron Corbin. Yes, Baron Corbin won. So we're getting Baron Corbin versus Chad Gable. We should
rewind to last week just to hear you completely call exactly how it was going to end. I mean, you nailed it all the way down to the finish.
Ricochet, hits his top rope move. Everyone goes nuts. Thought he was going to do it, and then here comes Little Weasel. Baron Corbin wins, and of course everyone's going nuts. And how did he? And no. So Ricochet does not get pinned. Same with the Joe little draw, whatever crap they did. And Ricochet doesn't lose here. It was Joe. So poor Samoa Joe.
Yeah, poor Samoa Joe. But I mean,
said that for a year now.
It was a good finish though.
I thought it was a very good finish. It was very clever. That was the way to go with the week before where you could see the double pin. And he kind of told you what was happening with Ricochet not losing. And Baron Corbin, now Chad Gable. Surprise to me, the finals will be on Raw.
Yeah, what happened there? They said it was going to be on Raw, and then as they were saying that, their social media was saying it was going to be Clash of Champions. So somebody needs to talk to somebody. Do they need to have a communication?
And you wonder why I don't follow any of these.
Right? I think what they need to have a communication guru come in and, okay, this is how we talk.
I'm going to just assume that, I think Clash of Champions has 11 matches.
Yeah.
And they were all title, but Reigns and Rowan. I'm going to guess they probably just went with that.
So you cut Reigns and Rowan, put that on SmackDown, and I don't know.
Or just skip the whole Rowan part and get the Daniel Bryan
Just
going.
jump right to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We finally arrived at the finals. We've talked about this every week, and every week you've switched. I think last week you even went with Ricochet again because of his Twitter name.
Yeah, I went with Ricochet. Yep, that was my pick.
And I said, sorry, I think Baron's winning. So I think each week you went with Drew, and then I think we talked Andrade one week.
I only went with Drew that first week because he was only in it for that first week.
That's right, and now he's out having surgery.
So wonderful. That's why I don't bet on this kind of stuff. I don't do March Madness. I don't do any of that.
No, but if you had to bet Monday night.
Well, I mean,
who you got?
I'd like to see Gable win it, obviously.
Who you got?
But it's probably going to be Baron Corbin because everybody hates him, and he's just going to play it up. And when he does eventually get beat, it's going to be awesome. But they're going to make him the most hated man that they can possibly make him before he actually gets it, just like they did with Roddy Piper. You know, a lot of people tuned in to see Hulk Hogan on that WrestleMania 1, but a lot more people tuned in to see Roddy Piper get beat. So, I mean,
I don't know.
The heel sells it. You got King Corbin. It's tailor-made for his personality, for his character. I mean, he was a former GM, constable, whatever you want to call it. He's never gonna let you forget it.
No,
he's gonna continue to look like a waiter as much as he possibly can. It just plays into his character perfectly.
I will also mention he was a Money in the Bank winner.
Yeah. Where's his briefcase?
Not that he did amazing.
Where'd it go? How did it work out for him?
He lost it at the steakhouse.
Yeah,
so anyways, Jericho had it. So obviously there's, been that going for a while. He retired Kurt Angle. He just had a feud in the main event with Seth Rollins for 2 or 3 months. So, I mean, all this is there. And I will quickly point out the tournament, the matches have been good. So, the Corbin excuse of all this and that, well, I don't know. I've been enjoying the matches.
Yeah, I can't deny you on that one. He has been putting in some good work, I'll have to admit.
And I know Ricochet and Joe will probably get all the credit because they're the internet fans and all that. But, Corbin's in there too.
Yeah, if you're in there, you're part of it. So
even the Cedric, and I don't know. I've been enjoying the matches and the tournament and everything. I would have never guessed Baron Corbin and Chad Gable.
Yeah, that was kind of out of nowhere.
So it's kind of crunch time now with a pick. I think everyone's kind of going to be rooting for Gable.
Right, but deep down we know.
Deep down we know.
It's. I think it's Corbin's. Yeah.
I don't know. I am not going to make a pick.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I know nothing. So I know nothing. So we're going to jump over to a Twitter topic real quick. AEW. AEW. We don't. I don't think we have a topic on them this week, but thankfully we do now because Mr. Lightbulb Man has a bright idea for us. He says to talk about, oh boy, the poor ticket sales for Full Gear.
Well, I mean, we only have, what's announced for it.
Well, Cody and Jericho, which we broke last week on the show.
So, I mean, we all knew it was going to taper off at some point.
Is this a non-story or something maybe to watch out for in the coming months?
I think that people are making too big of a deal of it right now. Moving into the autumn winter season, people are, we're animals. I mean, seriously, we're animals.
I think it's in Baltimore, isn't it?
And so when we get, to this part of the year, even if we're all about going out and doing stuff, innately we're kind of like, okay, maybe we shouldn't make this trip. Maybe we shouldn't, these kind of things can happen. You start kind of gearing towards more of the hunkering down than outgoing. Summer is the time to take trips and go wild and do all this stuff. Winter, you're more, you're doing the grind and just making way till spring. So, I mean, people could be taking their time traveling, and deciding what traveling plans they really want to take. I know that guy in the green shirt keeps showing up at every single WWE event.
Are you saying nobody wants to go to Baltimore on November 9th, Saturday night?
Hey, that's my sister's birthday.
For another StarCast, another weekend of...
You know what I found out? Chris Jericho and my sister are born on the exact same day, the exact same year. How about that? They're the same age and all that.
There you go.
Crazy.
Just call her Jericho then.
No.
Sure, she'll love that.
No, my sister's a wonderful person. I would never want to insult her like that.
We love her. We love her.
Hi, Gina.
Yeah. We would never.
She would never listen to this.
If you tell her she's on, she would.
No, she wouldn't.
Oh,
she hates wrestling.
Wow. Does she hate you, though?
No.
Well, then there you go. It's for you, not for the topic.
Right.
All right. So,
don't think she wants to hear me drone on.
I do. So, Full Gear. I'm not going to make a big deal about this.
Not yet.
The ticket sales are what they are, whatever. They're not going to have first day sellouts and announce it 30 minutes.
Right,
that wasn't going to happen. We knew that going in.
And there wasn't a whole big hype. I mean, All Out had the big hype of returning to Chicago after All In. Double or Nothing was the first AEW pay-per-view. There was a lot of big hype surrounding these. So this one, they haven't really said, oh my God, this whole craziness is going on. You got to get it now. Now, if it comes to be a week out and there's still unsold tickets, then you make something out of that. That's a story.
Yeah, and again, I mentioned it, but no offense to Baltimore, but, that's not Las Vegas and not Chicago where,
New York.
People want to go there. Yeah. Right. So, yeah, I'm not going to make a big deal about it, or Orlando for WrestleMania 33 that I went to. So I'm not going to make a big deal about
your jumpsuit, nonetheless.
My jumpsuit. So I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. But it is a story to watch for because also a few of their TV taping announcements also are not exactly doing what they've probably been expecting, not at the elite level of ticket sales. So what?
Puns. You and your puns.
I have no puns. So I'm not going to freak out about it or anything, whatever. It was expected. That's just kind of how it's going to go for AEW. Not every show's going to sell out 20,000, 10,000 seats.
Right. I mean, let's see how they build it up and what stories they decide to tell. That's what's going to be the deciding factor. That's what's going to make the sellouts happen is if you give us something to actually want to show up for.
Yeah, and I mean, it was even smart because NXT announced a partnership with Full Sail. They're not taking their show each week traveling.
Right.
They're going to stay in Full Sail, and you know what they're confident in? Not ticket sales. They're confident in their product.
Right. I think that's actually a brilliant move on NXT, WWE's part, is keeping it at Full Sail.
I love it, and yeah, in the beginning of the year, if they want to run a few, quote-unquote, super shows on Wednesday nights with NXT, then okay, take it to an arena or a building or,
right,
wherever for a cool little change-up.
Or, once or twice a year, they go over to London or, they mix it up with the UK folks, or something like that. Little traveling here and there, but for the most part, you're stationary.
Yeah, I love it, and it just speaks to, okay, they know they have a good show, and they can,
And you can almost count on the crowd at that point, too, because you got the same flavor of fans, so you know what's going to make them excited, you know what's going to bring them down, and you can tailor your show to that.
Yeah, the only, I guess, slight worry is if they do become eventually kind of spoiled and jaded, they won't react like, oh, I saw that last week, who cares?
Right.
Or, the quote-unquote stars won't get the same reaction. Like, if they come to Milwaukee, it's like, I haven't seen this in a year. This is awesome. You cheer it. Versus, oh, he was just on last week. I just saw him.
Yeah, that's true.
So...
but also, I mean, they could do a poll of, who's actually attending these things. Is there a lot of the Full Sail students?
Oh, yeah.
Or, because those change out every 4 years.
Yeah, I think they have the... the information obviously on credit cards and stuff. And like you mentioned, Mr. Green Shirt, I'm sure these are half regulars.
I gotta know who that guy is.
I'm sure half are regulars and
whoever you are, if you listen to this, do contact me. I just want to know.
Okay.
How on earth?
I didn't see him, but I saw a different group.
He was at Madison Square Garden. He was on for Raw.
Yeah, I saw a different group, though, in Orlando. I literally walked right past them and didn't even say a word to them. I'm like, no, thanks. And then also in Milwaukee, I want to say, I forgot who it was, but also one of the guys that you see every single week was standing at will call.
Oh, really?
And that gave me pause because,
they know somebody.
Well, right. They've all claimed they're fans. They pay for their own tickets. WWE has nothing to do with them. They're fans, so don't think that they're just getting freebies and all this stuff.
Right.
Well, I mean, it could be nothing, but yeah, he was standing at will call. So was he getting tickets or were, tickets there waiting for him?
Right, exactly. But Green Shirt guy was Madison Square Garden, front and center, at the hard camera. He's there all the time.
I mean,
wearing the same shirt, wearing the same hat. I mean, what do you do that you can be off of work, that you can follow around to every single pay-per-view? And those hard cam seats are not cheap.
No, especially in Madison Square Garden.
I mean, jeez.
Got to be hundreds, if not thousands.
I want to know what this guy did so I can copy it and maybe buy a house someday.
But here's the deal, though. You go to 52 weeks a year, couple thousand. You're talking in a few years $1 million.
Yeah.
You can't tell me this is their own money.
No, I mean, unless he's that well off.
And this is what he's doing with the same shirt?
I mean, maybe that's how he saves his money, is that he does, saves on laundry or something. But I mean,
saves on quarters for laundry.
The money that he spends for those tickets, if he's buying them, I could do so much with.
Yeah, like I said, I walked past him and had zero desire to even talk to him. So that kind of tells you what I think. But speaking of NXT,
you're so harsh.
We have the first hour the next 2 weeks. The first hour will be on USA.
Yep.
And then the second hour will be on the WWE Network. And then obviously starting October 2nd, what a coincidence.
Yep.
2 hours live on USA. It's a little confusing, but I think we understand it. So this week...
it's all because of suits, man.
Nothing to do with AEW at all. So starting next week, here is the... it's I think a pretty strong card at least. Let's start running it down here. Fatal 4-Way for the number 1 contender spot. Candice LeRae.
Yeah.
Io Shirai.
Yep.
Bianca Belair.
Yep.
And Mia Yim.
Now, I heard that if Rhea Ripley won her match, it was going to turn to a fatal 5-way.
Rhea Ripley, quote unquote, technically lost. She took the chair and just demolished Shayna Baszler with it. Because actually Baszler brought it in, and then her goons attacked.
Right.
And then the referee did nothing, and then she took the chair and was like, screw this, and just started swinging. So, I mean, people are saying, well, the ref, well, he's the one. But technically, I mean, DQ. So
yeah.
I don't think she'll
All
do
right.
this.
Well, it'd be cool to see Rhea when she's, when they're ready for it. But
yeah, she dropped the UK title. I wouldn't be surprised if they are kind of. But Toni Storm's another one where it's just like one of those has got to do something more.
Absolutely. So we got, it was Io,
Kansas, Bianca, and Mia Yim.
Oh, boy.
I think Mia Yim, no, because she got her shot, and obviously the crowd didn't care.
I'm kind of the same with Bianca.
I don't know. But then the thing with Candice and Io is they kind of cancel each other out.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to pull for Candice on this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Not Io screwing her over?
Well, because then you're going to have heel and heel.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm going to just, I don't know, I could see Candice and then maybe Io cost her the title match.
That could be.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If anyone would win, I don't know. Bianca, I guess they could go back to that. Mia Yim, maybe.
But we've done that,
Mia Yim, maybe get one more match out of her. I mean, is Shayna going to move up in the main roster or anything like that? I don't know.
Johnny Gargano has said that phrase is dead now.
Yeah, that's
Nobody's
the whole thing, too.
up.
Are they officially main roster now with the USA thing?
I mean, it feels like it.
But, I mean, we're still going to talk about, I can't wait for so-and-so to be on Raw.
Are we, though? Because we're going to see him on NXT.
I mean, I see him on NXT regardless.
Yeah, but the thing is not everybody has a network. So, some
that's
people,
true.
when they move up, that's the first time some people are seeing them.
Yeah, that's a good point because, the network has 1 point, I think it was 6 or 2 million, wherever they top out at Mania each year. USA Network's available in 90 million homes.
Yeah, exactly.
You go from 1 to 2 million to 90 million. Obviously, it's available homes, so who's going to watch? But we'll get to that in a little bit. But I don't know. You're picking Candice?
I'm picking Candice, yeah. It just makes the most sense to me.
I'll go with Candice. I'll leave it open, like you said, for a 5-way if somebody does want to pop up and kind of make a big surprise on the USA debut.
I mean, why not?
Why not? So we have the NXT Tag Team titles. We have the Undisputed Era, who lost at the TakeOver, but won them a few weeks later anyways. Versus,
because that's what we do here.
That's what we do here. Versus the Street Profits.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the champs retain.
Yeah, I'm hoping so because I guess if we're going to pull for that... draped in gold story that they've been teasing.
They said at the beginning of the year they will end the year as all champs.
Yep, and we're getting close to the end of the year, so it's got to happen, Roddy.
Come on, Roddy. I wrote about this in my other 411mania.com column this week.
Cheap plug.
Very cheap. It's time for Street Profits to do something on Raw.
Yeah, I actually read that column.
Whoa, you actually read a column.
I did.
Somebody read. All right, so it's
got
time.
One.
We got one, more than last week. So we got Street Profits still standing around doing the promos.
Doing nothing, really. I mean,
it's living the life doing nothing, but...
Right. I'm almost starting to get a little tired of it, though.
Yeah, it's time. I mean, him hitting on the girls or whatever he said of, so-and-so is, him licking his lips, Angela Dawkins.
Yeah, we're approaching a little bit of Me Too there, so let's let's stray from the...
Yeah, calm it down there a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to just say Street Profits lose, and I know Triple H said that they can do both, but, you're live on Wednesdays each week in Florida. Where would Raw be? Are you going to travel and pay the jet, the private jet each week to go down to Florida? And then I don't know where they live.
You know they would, but
they would. So I don't even know if where they live. Do they live in Florida? So I don't even know that. But then it seems like too much.
A lot of hassle.
A lot of hassle for, honestly, the Street Profits. I don't know if they're worth all the hassle.
Right. Let's just close this feud out and keep moving on.
Close the chapter. Call them up. If you don't want to call it a call-up, fine, whatever. But call them up. That's
don't
a lot
call
of...
it a comeback.
Call it the call-up. So if you call it
here for years.
I'll call it a call-up and just go to Raw. I don't know who the tag champs will be at that point. Will it be Rude and Ziggler? Whatever. Have them come out. Get them in the ring. The crowd obviously would cheer for them.
And then LAX.
And wrong show.
Whoops.
Wrong show on Wednesdays.
Wouldn't that be funny?
So I'm going to pick Undisputed Era. And moving on, we have NXT North American title match. I believe this will be in the first hour.
Velveteen Dream.
Is this the end of the dream, though?
Well, I mean, if we're getting draped in gold, it's got to be.
Is this going to be a dream turned into a nightmare? I don't know.
I'm going to say yes. I'm picking Roddy.
Here is why you do it. You're going to bust out on USA Network. First match, I'm going to guess, is Dream coming out, and then it's probably going to be an Undisputed Era, a little promo package of video of kind of explaining to new viewers what the heck,
what's going on.
Right. You got to do a little introduction, which SmackDown on Fox will also get a little intro video thing.
Right.
So I like that. Same with
to
AEW.
All the normal people.
AEW also is going to air something Tuesday, which is what they originally wanted.
Right.
But they're going to get it, so I like that here. NXT is probably going to have a little intro thing, and then I think Dream's going to come out. That'll be the first thing that kind of hook.
Dream.
It's kind of going to hook viewers. Dream, and then I don't know, dude. Just pull the title change.
I mean, I do. If we're continuing this storyline, then it's time to put. It's time. He's had it for a while, Velveteen Dream. It's time to invigorate the storyline with him chasing to get it back, or going after, Adam Cole,
or going to Raw. But I'm gonna say,
or going to Raw,
or
SmackDown,
or SmackDown. Can you imagine him with Fox?
To the lab, and we can do an awesome interview.
Or to the lab. What is Dream gonna be wearing? I've been trying to think of this because it's not a takeover, so he may not. But Strong burned down his love couch. Did you see this?
No.
Yeah, Strong, because Dream had been coming out cutting promos on this long, casting couch type deal with two girls by his side.
Oh my.
Yes. And then Dream was in the ring, and then Strong came on the big screen and was like, it all ends Wednesday, whatever, I'm taking your title. And then he zoomed out, and his couch was on fire, and Dream was freaking out. Like,
wow.
Don't mess with his couch, but I don't know. Do you think he...
I'm thinking if he's on USA, I'm thinking all red, white, and blue, baby.
Oh, boy. That could be. I'm trying to think in USA, does he come out with Chris Lee's, the Chris Lee No Best?
Better not.
Or
they're still worried about him and tax evasion. He can't go anywhere.
Yeah, he's had apparently a video floating around of his family too. But I think he could almost come out in a suit, for suits, and then he rips off.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know.
That could be.
But it's not a takeover, so that's a good song. So that'll be interesting. I think if you are looking to make an immediate impact, you do the title change.
Yeah, you do something big. Yeah.
But they could stretch it out again because if you remember, Pete Dunne was pinned. Not Strong in the triple threat on TakeOver. So, again, why was that done? It's the same with Ricochet, where I asked myself. And anyways, so the fourth match we have, which will apparently air on the second hour of the WWE Network portion, Matt Riddle versus Killian Dane Street Fight.
Street Fight. Yep.
I think it's, the next step in this feud that they kind of go at it, no rules. And as long as Bill Goldberg doesn't come out, I think Riddle wins.
I mean, but what a pop that would be
on NXT.
I mean,
they may boo Goldberg.
They may.
They want their guys. They don't know.
Right, but I mean that would definitely turn some eyes to the network for a little, or to the network or USA to see if he pops up there,
or a certain Kevin Owens, or even a Sami Zayn. Like, you don't think he could thrive in NXT right now?
Oh yeah,
or
he would be great.
Even a Shinsuke Nakamura run, or a Rusev and Lana.
Maybe that's what they're going to do. Who knows?
I mean, there's a lot of guys, but again, we don't really want, all main roster guys. That kind of defeats the purpose of NXT.
Right.
Is if, we're going to have Charlotte versus Becky. Well, what about Mia? What about Candice? What about Io? What about Bianca? What about all these girls? Oh, yeah, we'll get to them. We'll
get to them.
We're trying to draw viewers first. It's kind of like, not really. So speaking of viewers,
Yeah.
the only baseline we have is 2 years ago, is a year and a half ago. NXT aired on USA Network. It was during, WWE week, if during the holidays.
Yeah.
They always air the week-long crap. I think it was like 840 or 50,000 viewers. I have no idea. But that's the only baseline. And obviously it was a tape show, which I think even already had aired on the network the week before.
Okay.
I know it was something like that, but I think they did squeeze in some, original footage, always how they cheap, a few little things.
Right.
So what are we thinking viewership-wise? 840,000. That's kind of the baseline.
I mean, is that what we're shooting for, or?
I don't know, because that was obviously taped. NXT, I don't know. I wouldn't say it had the momentum it has now. I don't think it had the star power. It certainly doesn't have the USA Network 3 weeks build. This was kind of just chucked on there one night.
Right.
I don't know. It's interesting. I think for NXT and AEW, I'm almost thinking 1 million viewers. That's what Miz and Stone Cold shows draw.
Yeah.
And I know it was that Friday night All Out preview, but AEW I think got like 300-some thousand viewers that night. But again, it was just chucked on there and nobody really cared.
Right.
And it meant nothing. So I want to say they should be shooting for 1 million viewers. And then from there, maybe try to grow it and then announce even more for the October 2nd live 2 hours. I don't know. Is that what you're kind of thinking?
I mean, you want to see high numbers right off the bat, obviously. And I guess I don't know a thing about television ratings and what's considered good and bad and all that.
Well, when Miz and Stone Cold, they usually get like 4th or 5th or 6th or somewhere in that range.
In their time slot.
For the night. So, if they get 1 million viewers and a good demo, that'll
it'll at least lead into something.
Yeah, I think that'll be like more than acceptable. And people are saying, well, NXT on USA, they're going to show Raw how it's done. Like, no, they're not going to beat Raw.
No,
they're not going to beat SmackDown. They're not getting anywhere near
their
that.
ring ropes are yellow.
You don't like yellow?
No, I do. I'm just saying that's why they're not Raw, because their ring ropes are yellow.
Oh, right, yeah.
Raws are, what color are they now?
Red?
Are they red now, or are
White?
they white?
I don't know. I couldn't even tell you.
I think. Lord, I'm lost now.
Is this something we should quick Google?
No.
You sure?
I don't care that much about it.
I do. So now I have to look.
Well, we can't really post it up for our listeners to see, so.
We can't?
You tell me how to work video. I can do sound. That's about all I got for you.
You don't want to see what I record sometimes.
No, I do not.
You may not want to see that. So I typed in YouTube WWE Raw, and of course I can't find a single video from this week's Raw.
Of course not.
So wait, hold on. There's a video.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, it shows the entrance. All right, they're red.
They're
I see
red now.
Bailey is hitting Becky with a chair from 2 weeks ago, and I see red in the background.
Those are red.
All right.
Might have been changed since.
Oh gosh.
Check your local listings.
Check your 205 listings. All right, so
pink. Let's go back to pink.
We got no. Isn't that October?
It's coming.
Oh,
it's coming.
You jinxed it. So the last topic of the night. So Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder. Yeah. I watched what you recommended to watch, and
my apologies.
That is 17 minutes of my life I will never get back. I can't. 55. Do you know what I could do with $5,500? Do you know how awesome this place would be?
I'd probably stick it in the bank. That's what I would do with it.
Money in the bank.
Money in the
Show
bank.
me what you drank.
That's what I would do with it, but that's boring, and nobody would really do that. But so my news story of the week. Unfortunately, there was not a new episode, so I can't bank off that material.
Ha.
But his podcast has a separate channel, just their podcast channel.
Okay.
This was on the WWE network. Or WWE channel. This is on their podcast channel. So they did an unboxing of a new action figure.
Okay.
It was a new Zack Ryder figure, of course.
My.
Except
complete with bald spot?
I don't know. But Zack Ryder did not unbox it, and Kurt Hawkins did not unbox it.
So who did?
Chelsea did.
Aww.
But she did it in a bikini.
I mean, if you want viewers.
So that's what I was going to mention. This is like the cheapest ploy in the world. The
Of
title
course.
is literally Chelsea unboxes Zack Ryder, and then in parentheses is in a bikini.
Yeah. My wife does some streaming on Twitch occasionally, and we got friends that do that. And there are streamers that literally just do that. And I won't tell you what they're called because it might be a little vulgar for our general audience. But they're certain type of streamers that is their whole ploy. That is what draws people in, and they make money.
Yeah, sit there in their underwear and play video games.
Basically, that's exactly it.
That's unbelievable. Anyways, but
What a country.
Chelsea opened it. I don't know if she was joking or what, but she had no idea what anything was. She was like, what do I do with this? She couldn't even open the box. And, Zack was holding the camera. He was like, babe, you got to do this. Babe, you got to. And then she opened it like with full force. Like
I was about to say, did she tear into that?
She tore open the box.
Good
the
for
figure
her.
went flying across
Good for her.
And then Zach's like, babe, you can't do that. And then it like cuts out and comes back, and she's like talking.
Totally ruined the collector value of it, man.
So my story is in the background of Zach's like his little videos and stuff.
Yeah.
He always has like his wall of all of his titles he's won.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Okay, so he's done that.
The internet championship.
Yeah, that's what got him
horrible.
popular. But here is my, I'm turning this around, and I'm going to be praising Zack in about 5 seconds here.
Okay.
So bear with me here.
He's fun to make fun of, though.
No, this is a praise.
Yeah, but he is fun to make fun of. And his
fun
bald
to make
spot.
fun of, and his bald spot. Hey, I take a little offense to that myself.
No, you don't. You're fine.
I know. All right. So Zack has his Intercontinental, the tag titles, all that good stuff, and it's super cool. And obviously he's got his little shrine. Some people don't like that in their house. Some people do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't honestly really care one way or the other if you do or not. But here is my now praise for Mr. Ryder. One of his titles just added was the Impact Knockouts Championship.
I think I saw that. I was wondering which one that was.
And of course,
that's Chelsea's.
That is Chelsea's.
Aww.
So I don't know if she did
made it to the shrine.
I don't know if she did it or he did it, but I thought that was very nice. Obviously, they're engaged, so he's whatever. That's very nice for.
It kind of makes a little warm spot in the middle of your heart.
It does. I thought it was very nice, and I was looking obviously for a story to talk about with him this week, and that's what I decided to do instead of the bikini unboxing cheap ploy of whatever they're calling it. And I looked in the comment section of the video on YouTube, and one of the comments was like, it was like, Zack, and then quotation mark, babe, I just spent $5,500 on a
on a big boss
action figure, and then Chelsea says, ... nothing, and then Zack goes, babe, we need some money back. How about you do a video in your bikini?
Yep, that sounds about right to me.
And then voila, there it is.
There's your money back.
There's your $5,500. So that's good
for one figure.
One figure
that was broken.
And he had a bunch, but he put them back. And it was broken. You're right. The nightstick
didn't fit in his hand.
And it said to Joe on the back. And
yeah,
I like how Ryder's like, I don't care about Joe. I'm sorry.
A little bit of acetone, take that right off, and the rest of it.
I like how he always talks about giving the figures. This wasn't on this episode, but he talks about giving the figures a bath. Yeah, to clean it up. But when he talks about it, they like show bubbles on the screen and like get all like love Barry White music. Yeah,
like Barry White.
But he always goes, Kurt, you know what you got to do, and then Kurt's like, don't do it. And Zack's like, you know what you got to do, and Kurt's like, don't do it. And then Zack's like, you got to give it a little bubble bath. You got to sit down. You got to get the candles on.
I can't get enough of your love, babe.
All right, so that's going to be my Zack Ryder story of the week.
Barry White, baby. Be like Barry White.
I do like Barry White.
Barry White's awesome.
I actually got a CD of his like when I was like 5 or 10.
Really?
Greatest hits. I also listened to Whitney Houston when I was growing up at 5 or 10.
Who didn't?
Well, right. So so I'm going to give a little teaser for next week.
Uh-oh, teaser.
So next week we're obviously going to have a Clash of Champions. The show will be over.
Yeah.
We're obviously going to know a little bit about what NXT is going to kind of have planned for the USA run, even though it'll only be an hour. But here's my real teaser. Are you ready for this?
Nope.
I have a big, bold proclamation, a big statement, a big something.
Oh, my.
About Zack Ryder.
What?
So that may be a little too cryptic for some people, but I would suggest tuning in next week for my...
I can't wait to stop this podcast and try to pull this information out of you.
I'll tell you afterwards.
Sweet.
So,
I love being in the know.
A little bit. So, that is my little teaser. So I do need to pay the bills here with some plugs.
Pay them bills.
So you are listening to the 411 Foresight Wrestling Podcast on the one and only 411 Podcasting Network. You already know that. My columns are on 411mania.com. You can find all that great stuff there. You can find this podcast on Apple iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and of course YouTube.com. You can find everything right there. Steve, how about you?
Hey, folks. We have the Resonant Complex debut album, North Avenue, is available now everywhere digital music is sold. You can find it on iTunes. You can stream it on Spotify. You can look at the videos on YouTube. And we also have the ResonantComplex.com, which has its own little streaming player. You can just press play and listen to the song of your choice. Go ahead, check it out, buy the record, and enjoy.
And we're going to enjoy a little Resonant Complex right now. Woo, woo, woo. You know it.
Racing faster than the speed of light, and in your eyes I see the stars tonight. You've given me hope, something to believe.